because they need to hear from you. Like I said, you can grow your home care agency by using YouTube. Seriously, you really can do that, for example. Then you can also create a podcast for your organization. So important. We've got to look at what the future is, and the future is now. So you've got to start doing like YouTube, if you haven't done so already, like how I've said in this video. But also you've got to look at podcasting, and that is where you're on Apple, you're on YouTube, you're on Spotify, and there's all the other platforms, for example. But I mentioned the 4 main platforms, for example. Get on YouTube if you're not on there already. I know I keep going on about YouTube, but I know it works because it's worked for me since 2013. So it will work for you in your business as a care provider. Now is the time to get on there, 2025, because you will get that option then to showcase what it is that you do. And then people will get to know you rather than looking at your website, rather than seeing you in the newspaper, for example, or maybe got an office building, for example, but they don't know that you're there. Yes, there's your website, but YouTube can be your website. You can showcase everything, and you can even put the videos on your website that you've put on YouTube and your podcast. And guess what? How do you think you'll get on the #1 page of Google? How do you think so? YouTube. Your podcast will do it for you. And I want to be able to share this with you because it is such a powerful, powerful tool, YouTube. And even though you may be a small business owner, they're looking out for you now. That's why I keep saying that YouTube wants everybody to win. YouTube wants everyone to grow, and especially the small creators. And you would be a small creator. So Google hired a team to look after the small creators like ourselves, to push our content because it wasn't getting seen. Now it's getting seen with the right keywords. And you can really become viral, and then that way you're straight on #1 page. People are contacting you. You're getting inundated with calls. Wouldn't you like that? Give me a like and let me know that you can hear what I'm saying here, because this is such a new transformation for care businesses. Whether you can even do this with supported living. You could do this with recruitment care agency, for example, not just home care agency. So there's so many things that you can do on YouTube that is going to create an income for your organization, but at the same time you will get appointments, and then they know you because they've seen you on YouTube, so they've already got a good taste and feel of what you're going to be like, because you've introduced yourself as the owner, for example. You've introduced the manager, if you've got one. You've introduced the care staff, if you've got them, for example. You've showed a day in life of being a carer. Check that out. It's on YouTube. I think they get lots of views as well. So don't just be stuck at what you're doing now. It's time to be the eagle and soar and fly higher than what you ever did before, and stretch yourself, because it's all about technology. It's all about online. Things are moving. It's digital. You could even do some training programs for the carers, for example, or even for the client. You know, what is it that you specialize in? Think about those type of things. But you can, like I said, you can advertise your company on YouTube, and you could do training, weekly training, for example, for the carer or the client, for example, weekly educational videos, weekly introductions, for example. There's so much content that you can provide within your organization. You know, what happens when you take on a client? What is your administration procedure? What is your take on procedure, for example? What should happen when a carer arrives at your house or apartment, for example? What is your company's policy on that? You've got so many policies, you can just talk about the policies if you want to. But think about you getting on YouTube. I'd love to know from you how many of you that are actually on YouTube with your business, and that you're posting regularly, like weekly, on YouTube with your business. Or are you just thinking, I just do a video, I just upload it on YouTube, I stick it on my website, and that's it? Is that the type of YouTube channel that you've got at the moment? Because if you have, then you need to change it and make it so that you're able to use it as a lead generation, so that a lead magnet, they call it, so that you can get clients, relatives, as well as healthcare professionals and any other friend, for example, to see your video, and then it gets recommended to the person who needs the care, who is a private paid client. And then that client can then watch the videos and get to know you before they even meet you. And then they'll say, yep, they're the one. I want them. That's who I want to do my care, for example, or to come and, you know, help me with my cleaning or whatever. If you're a cleaning company, you can do it. You can do the same thing with a cleaning company. You know, if you do uniforms, for example, you can do that here on YouTube. If you do PPE equipment, you know, gloves, aprons, footwear, for example, you can be here on YouTube. But be regular. You got to be at least once a week to get traction, to get into the algorithms. Doing it a one-off and then that's it is not going to make people come to you, not going to make people find you either. So think about you being on YouTube, because I see that some people are using like a company, for example, to do it for them, the adverts, or maybe AI, for example, they're using that. But when you're doing weekly, if you're going to be using AI, then it needs to be weekly, not just a one-off thing. But remember, if it's AI, they don't really know who you are. So it will get beyond not being personal. But maybe you could get some clients just by you doing AI videos, for example. But preferably, they prefer to see humans talking and saying what things are like, working for your organization. Who are they going to meet? You know, what is the personality of the agency, for example? You know, how far do you travel? What is your radius? What are your prices? What are your staff members like? What are the qualifications that your staff members have? Maybe 50% of them have an MVQ, for example, but all staff have a care certificate if you're in the UK. If you're in America, then you would say, right, all staff have a certified nurse's assistant certification and they're qualified to work in hospitals, for example, or if it's a medical staffing I was referring to there, if it's home care, that they've got the necessary qualifications, again, with the mandatory training. So you would say what the mandatory training is, and you would say what areas in America that you cover. And you would also talk about who the owner is, who the manager is, how long you've been going for example. And then you've got a carer, for example, that you know has been with you for a very long time. You will get them to do you could interview them, question them, and say what's it like working for our organization, etc. And you could even go out with the carer and call it a day in life of the carer working for your organization. And that is how you can get private paid clients. And I would love for you to try this, because it's good that I'm talking to you like this, but I also know that you have to go out and do it and make it work as well. So what I would love for you to do is to like and subscribe, because I'm going to do some more videos like this, and I don't want you to miss out, because I want you to do what the modern day agencies are doing, the large ones, but even the large ones aren't doing so much as what I'm about to tell you and what I'm about to talk to you about over the next coming days. So thank you so much for being here today. I hope that you've enjoyed this discussion today, and this is how you grow your home care agency. And I've spoken about the 5 strategies to get private paid clients through YouTube and through doing live stream, through doing podcast. We've got to move with the program. We've got to move with the times. And yes, you're going to hear me saying those words a lot, because there's a reason for it, because I want to also start with this as well and start showing you the keywords that you can use for your care business, for example. I like to know what is working